The Trump-Mueller interview could reportedly happen within weeks, and it's going to be a showdown for the ages. But who has the advantage here, and how will an interview of this magnitude actually go down? Well, let me ask someone who was appointed to his job by Robert Mueller. Former FBI Assistant Director Ron Hosko joins me. Welcome back to the show, Ron.
Good to be with you.
So, as I said in the monologue, some of the people who have already been interrogated by the Office of the Special Counsel have said they're very meticulous and they are setting perjury traps. Is there a difference between the way the president would be interrogated and some of the people who work in the White House or who have worked on the campaign are?
You know, I don't think a huge difference. Bob Mueller and his team, whether we like their politics, their prior contributions or not, these are experienced professionals. They're going to treat the interviewee with professionalism and respect for their position. But make no mistake.
I understand that they're going to be very polite and probably offer some coffee and light hors d'oeuvres. However, what are they going for, and how do they go about getting it?
Well, Kennedy, they're going for the truth.
What do they see as the truth?
Well, first, they have, I would think by now, a wealth of information that none of us has seen. And that is text message exchanges, email exchanges, phone call records, travel records, interviews of others who are filling in the gaps. Look, we don't know, we don't have one idea right now what Mike Flynn has shared with them, what Papadopoulos has shared with them, whether he's giving them something that looks like it is indictable today, or perhaps giving them nothing at all. But they know that. The president needs to do two things. One, not overestimate himself, and two, not underestimate what is in the possession of the interviewers. They are going to be studied up on every piece of this. They will have every tweet, every text, every conversation, every travel record, and be ready to ask detailed questions. The president is not going to breeze by hard questions. They're going to circle back and ask it again.
Man, I wish they had had the same level of meticulousness for Hillary Clinton. I really wish that she had seen the same level of integrated questioning that you are describing, because I think you're right. The pursuit of the truth and justice are paramount in our government, and I don't think we've seen enough of it. I'm still curious what exactly they're going for. We're hearing that it's less about whatever collusion is and more about obstruction of justice. If they find it with the president, can the president be indicted?
Well, I think that would be extraordinary. Perhaps the more obvious thing, if they think the president has committed a crime, is to refer it to Congress and say and recommend impeachment process.
Yeah. So what does obstruction of justice look like to Congress, though? Does that reach the constitutional threshold for charging a president and removing him or her from office?
You know, that's a great question, and I think we are going to have to hear the details. So far, what we've heard are the presumption, the suggestion that Jim Comey was fired to basically take a Russia investigation off track. And personally, my supposition is, my belief is that the president has the absolute authority to fire the director of the FBI for a good reason or for no reason at all. The question is, can he fire him for a bad reason? And is there proof that this firing was for a bad reason? Yeah. There's plenty of potential witnesses. There are text messages. There are interviews, including with Lester Holt. And I think it's going to be incumbent on Mueller. Look, this is a case where federal prosecutors know you have to prove your case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes.
But here we're talking about the President of the United States. So you better take beyond a reasonable doubt and notch it up a couple levels to think about bringing an indictment for obstruction of justice, particularly where the president does have the right to terminate Jim Comey and take other steps like that. Yeah. He has the lawful right to do it. So are you going to meet beyond a reasonable doubt and then go past it so you can succeed?
Yeah, and is removing the president's success? Is that what success looks like to special counsel? I guess we'll find out. Ron Hosko, thank you very much.
My pleasure.